A lot of our young youth today, you know, that age range, and every adult been through this, that age range when you graduate high school and it's like, now what? If you wasn't thinking about what you're going to be when you grow up, when you was a senior, and if you was just letting things fly by, now real life hits you. This is where real life hits you. This is where the real test hits you, man. This ain't no A's and B's and C's. No, this is about your purpose. This is where your purpose hits you. This is where you got to discover that. And it can be a difficult time for a lot of young people, man. I've mentored a lot of young people in that age range, and it's like, what do I do with myself? What am I going to do? How I'm going to start adulting? And that could bring a lot of mental health. That could bring a lot of mental health challenges, man, because that could bring anxiety. I remember I'm putting myself back in when I was like 19, graduated from high school, right? I first said I wanted to be an animator. My dad said school costs too much. But then again, I didn't put too much energy towards my art. Then it was like, okay, am I gonna do the rap thing? I didn't really put too much energy into that. Then it was like, okay, well, what? What am I gonna do? So I just started hanging out. I was working a job, you know, I was getting the cash, working a job, trying to holler at chicks, stuff like that. But it took my mom getting me enrolled into community college, and she really had to take the initiative because I didn't have no drive back then. And that's one of the things. A lot of our youth, they don't have the drive when it comes to graduating high school. A lot of them don't have the drive. You don't know your purpose at that age. Only a few people probably do. Like Pac, you know, Tupac, he already knew his purpose was to be an artist. He already knew that, right? People like Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat already knew his purpose, man. He was 19, homeless, doing his art. And you already seen how he came up. You already seen his legend. So a lot of our youth, man, they deal with that anxiety, man. It's that fear of progressing towards life. What am I going to be as an adult? What am I going to do? How am I going to get money? I want to get out there in the world. You know, I want to experience life. I want to experience with being with a woman, experience, you know, pushing a car, you know, hey, if I want to hop in, man, go to little 5 Points and I was just on Bankhead, you know what I'm saying? I want to experience that freedom. But that brings a lot of anxiety because you got all this freedom. You want to be independent. You want to move out your parents' crib. You know, you want to do your own thing. And that brings a lot of anxiety because now you're at the point to where, well, how am I going to sustain this? And remember, anxiety is the fear of the future. Depression is trauma of the past. So how do we get through that anxiety? Well, first, let's be present. Let's breathe right now. Let's be present at this moment. Let's be present that today we're alive today. Let's be present that we are figuring out what we want to be, what we want to do, what is our purpose. Now, when it comes to defining your purpose, ask yourself, what is that thing that you do that comes easy for you? What is that thing that you do that comes easy for you? Oh, remember, defining your purpose. That's the first thing you need to do. Once you get out of high school, if you haven't already, it's that thing that you do better than anyone else that comes easier to you. Remember, the thing that you do that comes easy to you, right? So, this is where you want to journal. Write down some of these things that you are good at and reflect on them. Think about it. The clues to your purpose, it was always in your life. You just probably didn't notice it. Then once you reflect on them, then start looking up, okay, careers. What is a career I could get into? What's a career? How much this career makes? Is it a career that has growth? Am I able to sustain an independent lifestyle with this? Then I'll say network, connect. If you're at a church, or if you go to a church or a community event, try to ask around. Ask your peers, ask your older gentlemen, your older women. They like to help out the youth, most of them, right? Ask them, hey, I'm thinking about being this and that. Do you have any knowledge or do you know anybody? And they could connect you to the person that's in that field. That way you're able to get the whole 411 about it. You're able to know everything about it. They can school you, teach you, they can tell you, okay, how this field is. And through time, you might be in this field and it might change. It might change into something else. You might start in one lane, then go to the next. Like I started with art, drawing, inspired by anime, drawing manga, comic books, animation, then went to wanting to be a video game designer, coming up with characters, designs, elements. Then that went to rap, poetry, right? Spinning bars, dropping those bars. Then that went to becoming a school teacher, educating, a parapro, which eventually led me to my purpose as a light worker, as a counselor, helping youth, young kids like you, helping adults, young adults, and helping seniors with managing different mental health, anxiety, depression, stress, conflict resolution, right? Managing all these things. So your purpose, sometimes it changes, it transforms when you get to different ages. Like who you thought you was when you was in your 20s is not the same guy or woman that you are when you're in your 30s. You feel me? And that goes the same when you're in your 40s. But this is just the course of adulting. But you can't let that anxiety, that fear of being an adult, that fear of stepping out into the big blue world, this big blue world called planet Earth, where it's so much lands, different continents, different regions. You can't let that fear of anxiety prevent you or hold you back to stepping out into this world and doing something amazing, doing something that truly motivates the people, doing something that nourishes your soul, doing something that you feel a calling for. You can't let that anxiety hold you back. So how do we progress with the anxiety? How do we process it? We process it by taking a deep breath, being present, being into the now, not worrying about the fear, but focusing on the achievements, focusing on the accomplishments, imagining, visualizing yourself. All you have to remember is not to let the anxiety block you from winning, block you from your opportunities to be the greatest version of you. You can't let that fear of stepping out, being an adult, adulting, being independent, not being afraid to take an L, which is really a lesson, not being afraid to make mistakes. Yeah, you may not get it right. It may take you a while for you to learn your purpose, but that's fine. As long as you are searching for it, it will discover and find you. But you can't let that anxiety block you from your goal point. You can't let that anxiety block you from you making that shot. When you feel that fear clutching on your soul, take that deep breath. Relax. You good, my guy? Relax. Also focusing, visualizing yourself at that point of success. Understanding that this anxiety, this fear that's kicking in is illogical. You gotta ask yourself, man, is this thing based on facts, bro? Is this thing is it based on any evidence? Why am I afraid of this? Fear, false evidence appearing real. Anxiety, fear of the future. I haven't even did what I was feeling anxiety over. You gotta ask yourself this one question. What will happen if I go through the rest of my life letting my anxiety When? What opportunities I might miss? What shots I might miss? What goals I might not accomplish? Then ask yourself, will you be satisfied with that? And if you are, okay then. That's your life, that's your decision. If not, well, you already know what you need to do. Remember, the power is in you. Hey, let's get it.